All right, we are live. How are you doing, everyone? All right, I'm sorry I'm a bit late for the stream, and that is because I have some guests over and I had to excuse them. Like, hey, I'll just be right back. I have this work thing that I have to do. And here we are. Okay, perfect. So, what we will be doing is we will going through the community, sharing feedback for all of the review requests posts that are made, and I do this live every Saturday. So do join this community if you need some feedback on knowing exactly what you need to improve. Another very quick announcement that I want to make is that I am opening the doors for the Davinci School now. And what is Davinci School? Davinci School is the place that you want to be if you want to take your sculpting to the next level. So it is the next best step after you complete the 1 month challenge, and you can see the kind of results that we get inside the Davinci School are insane. So you can see Henry, how he learned sculpting in the easiest way possible, how on day 18 he sculpted his favorite superhero, which is the Flash. And we have Vlad, who has been learning for just 1 hour a day. Vlad, by the way, is a full-time pharmacist, and you can see the kind of results that he's been able to get with just 1 hour a day. We also have Joshua. So Joshua went from, yes, Joshua here you can see, he learned how to sculpt stylized bodies, full character stylized bodies confidently within 3 months. So we have so many more results. This is the Davinci School. You can see the win section over here. So you can see all of the amazing results that the members they get inside this awesome community. What you get is you get this community, you get one-to-one feedback, you get calls every week, and you get all of these amazing modules over here. Once again, all of this is absolutely step by step. It's non-medical, so I don't overwhelm you with bullshit terms that you don't need, bro. And whenever you do make a post, whenever you need feedback, I am very active inside. You will get engagement by the community. I will share you feedback via videos, via text, via images, showing you exactly the things that you need to improve every single day. So never in the process will you find yourself stuck. If that is something that you guys are interested in, then just book a call with me. The call is absolutely free, and I will walk you through how we can get you results within the next 3 months. Just use this link and book a call with me. Without any further ado, let's begin our review. And I just want to visit the win section here because there were a few more champions that we had, and I would like to show you. So Stephanie is our new champion, and you can see her results. So she followed the 1 month challenge on YouTube, the 5 hour long mega course, and you can see her results, which are absolutely beautiful. So I love this 100%, guys. When you do complete the course, share your work here and I will pin you amongst the champions. So here, let's sort this by review requests. Let's sort this by new, and let's dive in. Michael, let's check Michael. End of day 2 practice. This is my skull 3 at the moment. Is it good enough to move on to the faces? Thank you in advance. Let's check. Yeah, man, you only attach the front view. I'm not sure of the side. The only thing that I see here is that you have this almost a very, what would you say? Yeah, this bump that's happening over here. Over here, you can see we definitely have that, but it's a bit more smoother. So just you need to smooth that out. And also the eyes here. So notice the eyes here, they are fairly straight, very subtle curve. But here I can see them going up like this. So they have a bit of that angle. Just all you need to do, bro, is just push this down slightly. Just push this in slightly. And yes, you are, my friend, are ready for the faces 100%. So I'll mark this as a quality post because you attach the reference as well. You're not a Jerry. I love quality posts. Yes, I'm happy with it for sure. Awesome. Love to hear that. Divine hello. I'm not sure if I can post other works within the community monthly challenge for the sculpting review. Hope this is okay to post for the review. Okay, reference here. Yeah, bro. Honestly, this is not something that I give feedback on a lot. And the reason being is because the 1 month challenge, it is focused on the course that we have inside the community. And since everyone is following the same course over here, giving feedback for that does makes things easier. If other random posts are allowed here, then it will cause a lot of noise, which is something that I don't want. I believe that focus is subtraction. Focus is not addition of things. So I want to make this community focused on the 1 month challenge. But since you posted this, and since this is the first time someone has done that, so No problem, bro. Let me show you some feedback. Honestly, I really like this. Okay, the thing that I feel like you're missing over here is just the silhouette side of things. So for example, I can notice that we have this line on the shoulder and we have this bump, and then we have this straight line for the biceps down. But in this case, I can see a straight line almost from the shoulders all the way down to the biceps. Now, that structure will not give you the same bulkiness that these shoulders have. So 100% will like, just notice this. So we have this shape here, and then it dips back in for the arms. Okay, what you can do is you can pull out the shoulder slightly, have that dip back in, and then have that straight form for the biceps, and so on and so forth for the forearms. The muscles themselves, they are sculpted well, nothing too concerning. I like that how you were able to get the same style. I like how you did the legs, so that is nice. Let me check the side view. So yeah, from the side view, you can notice this on the lower section here. This part, notice how sharp this stylization is. So when working with stylized reference, it is very important that we pay very close attention to the shapes and the style that we're trying to copy. In your case, I see it as well, but it's a bit lumpy. You can see that it's a bit wobbly. We have this weird bump over here, and then this straight line all the way down here. But in the reference, you can see that we have this almost curved thingy here, and it's very straight towards the end. Then we have this shape all the way down to the heels. So 100%, when working with stylized references, these are the things that we need to take care of. Similarly in the forearms, so notice that the forearm form stops here. Okay, so this bulk, this muscle here, it stops here somewhere halfway. But in your case, it's continuing all the way down to the wrist, which is wrong. So when following this particular style, when following this particular reference, we also want this muscle to end somewhere here, and then it's a straight form down below that. Overall, this is a very well done sculpt. I like this. But yes, no more future anatomy stuff here. Yeah, but are you going to start new course for complete beginners? Oh yes, that is a very good question. So what I have been thinking is, I have been thinking that a lot of beginners, when they join the 1 month challenge, and when I talk to them, they tell me that they have been struggling with sculpting. And the reason being that they are overwhelmed about, okay, what is the what brushes do they have to use? There's so many brushes, there's so many options, and a lot of the beginner courses out there, the beginner tutorial, they're focusing on the wrong things. They're focusing on a quick win, on how to sculpt this particular reference. But when you try sculpting things on your own, you have no background build, you have no foundational work done that allows you to sculpt the things that you want. And for that, I'm thinking that I should make an absolute beginner sculpting course. I made a post, but yeah, so exactly this. So I will be making an absolute beginner sculpting course. We will be sculpting this character Morty. But what I want to do different is I want to show you every step and the reasoning that is behind it. So instead of saying add a cube here and then put this value and then put this remesh value and then boom, 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 make a stroke here and just try your best, bro. Just try your best and just keep practicing. Well, no, I don't want to do that, bro. I want to show you exactly. This is the reference. This is how I'm observing this. This is how you replicate this inside the sculpt. And I want to show you that, okay, there's no particular brush that you need. I want to cut all of the noise and the fluff. I don't understand this, but like, you're watching a beginner sculpting course. Why is a 6-hour long sculpting course spending 4 hours on lighting and rendering and animation? What the hell? Why is that? Like, you're watching a beginner sculpting course. It's 6-hour longs, but you sculpt for only 2 hours? That does not make sense. So I want to focus on sculpting and sculpting alone. They are walking you through every small feature of Blender, every small brush, okay, this is how this brush functions, this is how that brush functions. But bro, you don't need all of those brushes. Yeah, at max tops, I think I use 6 brushes out of all of this shelf here. So this sculpting shelf here, yeah bro, I don't even use all of these brushes. No one does. Honestly bro, I have no clue what a lot of these brushes do. I have no clue. I have no clue what the trim brush does, what the nudge brush does. Like nudge brush, I don't use any of them. This is the brushes that I use. I use the clay. No, I don't even use the clay. Clay strips, draw, these crease brush, draw sharp, inflate, scrape, grab, and smooth. That's it. Sometimes snake hook. But the twist brush, who wants to use the twist brush, bro? And then walking you through every feature, every brush, it just does not make sense. I feel like that is a disservice. So I don't want to focus on the quantity or the length of that tutorial. I want to focus on the quality of it. And naturally, what I want is that I want it to lead to the 1 month challenge. So everything that you need for the 1 month challenge, I want to cover that. Like the basic UI, the 5 brushes that you need only, period. You don't need more brushes than that. And like, I want to make the best absolute beginner course. So 100%, this is something that I am working on. I made this. I think this is a pretty cool sculpt. I think Morty is a very good subject to sculpt, and I can show you a lot of the cool things with Morty. And yeah, we'll 100% talk about remeshing, why sculpting low poly is important. I want to set the foundations right. I want to work from the root up. And that is why I'm considering on, not considering, but I am working on this absolute sculpting beginner course. It will be on YouTube. It will be absolutely free. I believe, bro, that everyone deserves a fair chance at building solid foundations. And a lot of the tutorials out there, they're not doing a good service. They're not doing a good job at that. They are confusing you guys more, and they create this dependency. So whenever you watch a tutorial, you get results, and then when you try things, you don't get results, and then you think, okay, maybe I should watch another tutorial, and then another tutorial, and then another beginner tutorial, and then another beginner course, and then you buy another course, and then you buy another program, and then it's a vicious cycle that people keep going through. And I'm very happy that the 1 month challenge has put an end to that. So people who have been trying to learn to sculpt faces, this has put an end to that. People who've been wanting to make characters on their own, they feel overwhelmed. Like the Davinci school has been able to put an end to that. People here, they are creating characters that they want every single day. So you can see the recent post here. You can see Qasim. Qasim sculpted this head from this reference on his own, bro. Why? Because he has a good basics. He has a good foundation to support that. You can see Ryan King over here. Look at how he completed the Metro Man. You can see Henry here. So Henry right now is sculpting the Batman Who Laughs on his own. And that is what I want. I want to completely destroy that dependency on courses and tutorials. I want to work on the foundations. I don't want to make courses or tutorials that are like, yeah, hey bro, watch me sculpt. And then you watch me sculpt that particular reference, you follow along me, you get good results. But then when you try things on your own, you suck. I don't want that. That is very annoying. So 100%, I just want to work on the basics. And yes, we will be working on this absolute beginner sculpting course. 100%. This is in the working. This is in the pipeline. And I'm very excited for it. Yes, I'm sculpting the Batman exactly right now. Oh man, that's awesome. So see, Henry is one of our members of the Davinci school. he's watching the stream and he is sculpting Batman as he's watching that. How badass is that? Love it, man. All right, let's proceed with the feedbacks. So Michael, once again, level 2 sculpt feedback. I get this consistently. Am I ready for level 3? Thanking you in advance. Yeah, bro. 100%. What I think is that you can improve here is just the shape of the head above. So just notice this shape on top here. Let me use a different color. So this shape on top here, it just feels like it's way too flat on this side. And yes, this side as well. This is something that I can judge better if you had shared the side view. So 100% will attach the side view and I can tell you exactly what you did wrong. Why is the silhouette like this on the third quarter? Do Davis. I think I'm going to be able to finish it for the end of the stream. Awesome, man. I will be looking forward to it. Honestly, I personally like the Batman Who Laughs concept more. I've always found this design to be very, very attractive. This is insane. I love spooky stuff. I love horror stuff. I love scary stuff. And when you see a Batman version of this, that like, bro, like 100%, I want to sculpt this. I did this back when I was still early on my YouTube days. There might be a stream there in the archives where I sculpted Batman Who Laughs, but 100% from all of the improvements that I've done and the progress that I've made, I am very excited to sculpt this. So I've already sculpted the enemy head, but 100% I will be sculpting Batman Who Laughs as well, just for fun and giggles. That will be so nice. I love the Batman Who Laughs design. It's such a good design. Yes, it's badass. Like for me, it's the best Batman design there are. I also like the Batman Beyond design. That is super cool as well. So the Batman Beyond suit, like this is so freaking cool, bro. Like I remember when I was still a child, and whenever this version of Batman would be airing on television, I would want to watch it. It's like this is one of the coolest Batman designs as well. Definitely among the tops. And I think I might just sculpt this like a comic version of this. That would be very nice. But definitely, Batman who laughs is so badass. And I love it because one, it's Batman, two, because it's spooky. I love spooky stuff. When should I switch to sculpting level 2? When should I sculpt to level 2? As you can see in my other post, I've been sculpting level 2, but I'm not sure if my level 1 is ready. How do I know when I'm ready to level up? That's the thing, bro. So when you inside the course, you are given all of the source files. Where's the source files? Yep, here are the source files. So inside the community, you are given every single model for every single level that you need to get. And all you need to aim for is 80 to 90% accuracy. When you feel like, okay, this is close enough, and that is when you proceed to the next level. When you feel like, okay, this is something that you can sculpt consistently. So let me show you some examples over here. Yeah, I think, yeah, Stephanie did a very good job at documenting that. So let me just show you her post. So yeah, you can see here, Stephanie documented her work very, very well. And you can see she kept practicing the same level. She also shared the reference. And once she got similar results, so you can see towards the end, and this is how you like look at her progress. This one was bad. It got better. It got better. And then with every sculpt, you're seeing her improving. And that is because she's practicing deliberately. And that is how everyone should practice. A lot of people think, oh, wow, I just need to watch this level 1 video once. And boom, I'll jump on to level 2. And ha, ha, ha. No, 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 bro. You stop being a Jerry. You're not a Jerry. If you do that, you're a Jerry. You need to keep practicing the same level again and again until you can get similar results. So you can see that these variations, they are fine enough. Like this is 80 to 90% accuracy. All of them, they are in the ballpark. No one can sculpt it exactly one to one. No one can sculpt a replica. They're going to be similar. Even if I make the same face again that I just sculpted, it's not going to be the same because this is something that is organic. And there will be subtle differences. So as long as you reach this ballpark, 100% you can move on to the next level. By the way, huge shout out to Stephanie for sharing it this way. I think this is a very good example for anyone who's confused on, okay, when should I move on to the next level? You keep practicing until you get similar results. Once you can sculpt that level consistently with 80 to 90% accuracy, that is when you move on to the next level. So I hope that answers your question, my friend. Dude Davis. Brian, more level to practice. Yo, Shizuma, how are you, my friend? How is it going? By the way, guys, did anyone here saw the lunar eclipse that just happened? I live in the part of the world where I do not get to see it. But for those who got to see it, like I find it's such a cool phenomena. It's one of the best things, one of the coolest things that I see nature does, and that is a lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse basically like a total lunar eclipse where the moon is in front of the sun and it just turns into a black sun. That's so cool. And I hope I get to watch it someday. My sister, she lives in the UK, and I was like calling her like, did you watch the solar eclipse? And she was like, no, I did not. Like, what? It's like it happens once in a lifetime. You might never even get another opportunity to see it, and you missed it. That's tragic. So yeah, bro, like Brian, awesome, man. I see that your sculpts have improved a lot. You're definitely very close to the reference now, and I love how patient and dedicated you have been towards this. So previously, Brian, when he shared his results, they were very different from the reference. A lot of people, what they would do is that they were like, no, man, I don't want to keep repeating the same thing again. But Brian is an example where you can see, bro, if you keep practicing enough, 100% you will get close enough to the reference. The only few differences that I can see here is that this part is too sharp. We need to smooth it out a bit. We just want this orbit to have this sort of a caving in. So this angle over here. And then of course, over here, we have the blockout for the eye. The top, it could be slightly flatter. In your case, it is, where's the cursor? What the hell? Yeah. In your case, it's like a continuous curve. So notice the shape here. It's this curve here. It's almost like a flat top. And then we have this part. So it's very blocky, the head on top. You just need to flatten this top part a bit. It's not something that's too concerning, honestly. You're very, 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 very close. This neck just seems to me like it's protruding a bit too much. Notice how here it's way behind. And this is something that will vary person to person. But definitely in this case, since we have this reference, you can push this behind here somewhere. And then here, of course, we have the Adam's apple, and then it intersects here. 100%, you just need to push this slightly back. Other than that, nothing too concerning, my friend. This is very well sculpted. Like, your work is showing results. Awesome. Okay, bro. Honestly, man, I was super hyped up because the side looks very nice, but from the front, there's a lot that we need to adjust. Okay, so first thing that I notice here is that this angle over here, this curve that's happening on the jaw. Nah, man, the jaw is very straight. So this part is straight. This is a line. The chin is a line. So you need that structure for the jaw. Okay, there's this curve thing. We need to straighten it out. So what it should be a line. It should be a straight line, and then a flat tip for the chin. Okay, the nose here, notice this shape here. We just want this to be a smooth, almost like a pyramidical shape. It's almost like a pyramid. So we have this triangle on the side, we have this rectangle in the center, and then another triangle on the side. So that is a structure that we need to improve, my friend. The blockout of the eyes, like I noticed this from the side as well. This is way too sharp. We need to soften this on the edges. So 100%, you need form like this, and it should be soft. The cheekbone, it's protruding way too much. This is way too sharp. 100%. What you need to do is you need to take the draw brush, use it here, and then smooth it out. I think that's the main things that you need to improve, my friend. Looking at this from this angle as well, I can notice that the angle change that happens for the jaw, notice over here how it's low down here, and then we see the jaw project forward. In your case, this happens way up here. So definitely we need to bring this area down here, and then the jaw, then the chin, then the jaw back up, and then the side of the face. So these few adjustments, and yes, my friend, you will be ready for level 3. Keep up the amazing work, man. I love your dedication and patience with this. And in the meanwhile, in the short term, I agree. And this might feel boring. It might feel repetitive. It might feel uncomfortable, but that is the point. That is exactly the point. I want you guys to know that when you're working towards anything in life, bro, when you want to make progress in anything, the process of that thing is uncomfortable. The fun, however, is in the progress. So now I enjoy sculpting so much because I sculpt the characters that I want. I sculpt them in the way that I want. I feel very happy, and I'm very happy with the results that I get. And it's very good. But the process for me of reaching this point, it was uncomfortable. It was overwhelming. It was not something that I was always excited for. But the way that you can make this exciting for yourself, and the way that I tricked my mind, was that instead of stretching the goal so far, where I was like, no, man, I'll be happy when I sculpt a full body character. No, I shrunk my goal. I made it achievable. The way that I did this is that I thought, okay, bro, I don't know anything about the torso. So what I'm going to do today is I'm only going to focus on how do I block the torso out. That is my short-term goal. And that is all I'm going to focus on. And if I allow my brain to feel pleasure, then there is pleasure from going here to knowing how to block out the torso. And then if I allow myself, there is immense pleasure in realizing that, okay, from blocking out a good torso, now I know how to sculpt the muscles of the torso, which is nice. And once again, let me tell you, the process of learning this is not comfortable. But once you're here, that is when the fun begins. This is pleasurable. So whenever there's a transition period in anything, the transition is not comfortable. It's not enjoyable. It's something that you have to get over. And when you do get over it, when you do make it to the other side, that is when you feel happy. That is when you look back and be like, oh, holy shit, bro, I made so much progress. That is insane. So if you feel like, bro, Ishaq, you keep telling me to do the same thing again, bro, it's part of the process. The repetition is what will get you results. And yes, it might be uncomfortable in the short term, but I swear in the long term, you will be very happy. You will be very glad that you did so. Any person who thinks that, no, man, like, I don't know how to sculpt out a torso, but let me make the muscles because making the muscles is fun. Yeah, bro, like, having fun will only get you so far. Eventually, because you suck at this stage, you will have to come back and practice this. So many people, what they do, bro, is that this stage sucks, but then they go on to sculpting the muscles of the torso and it sucks. They go on to making the legs, they go on to making the full body, and then when they make the full body, they're like, oh man, I wonder what did I do wrong? Bro, you did this wrong, this step, you skipped this step. And then eventually you have to come back here and then work your way all the way to here again. So what's shorter? Is it better? Is it not better to take it slow from the beginning? In the short term, it might feel like, yeah, it's taking forever, but I swear in the long term, this is what will save you the most time. This is what will get you the quickest result. And I have more than enough results to prove that. So when members do practice the right way, they get insane results. So you can see here, Henry mentioned this course was the best course I've seen in 5 years and the most intuitive and unoverwhelming. It's how you really have the be able to teach anatomy in the most unique way I've ever seen. And bro, like, it's simple. You just focus on the right steps. I've already done all of the filtering for you. I've been through shit when I was trying to learn all of this. But what I present to you is only the absolute things that you need. The 20% things that will get you 80% results. That is what I teach. So you follow those steps and those steps only, bro, and focus all of your energy and time on those steps, you will get insane results very quickly. All right, Jessica, like, all of this rant was just so that I set realistic expectations for you. Yes, the process is not comfortable. The progress is very, very enjoyable. But to get to that progress, you have to go through the uncomfortable process. I have a question. Do I use references as image planes when sculpting plus pure ref? Is that bad method of doing it? Or do I use just pure ref and try eyeballing it? Do you mean using reference images and then tracing over them? Is that what you meant? Jessica Wilson, day 11, head 2. Dreading the next stage because facial features are the bane of my existence, but pretty sure that'll be where I learn the most, so we'll see how it goes. Pretty happy with how this turned out, but is it good enough to move on? Side view tripping me out. Not sure what needs to be changed. All right, let's have a look at this. Yes, bro, like tracing, you could do that, but it depends on what your goal is, honestly. If your goal is likeness, then yes, you should trace 100%. But if you're learning, if you're still in the learning process and you want to get comfortable working with 2D references, then yes, you should eyeball. Now, for all of my sculpts, and you can check this out on my streams as well, when I'm sculpting something, I always have the reference and I'm eyeballing things. My goal is never to sculpt 100% of the reference. I want to sculpt something that's in the range of 80 to 90% accuracy. As long as it's recognizable, as long as it's the same person in the concept, as long as I get that message across, I'm happy. But if the goal is absolute likeness, you want it to be 100% like the reference, you want it to be the closest possible to the reference, then yes, you should trace. But even tracing, you shouldn't do it without a strong base. It's like saying that you want to use base meshes, but without any good foundations. Yes, that might get you good results, but it won't build your foundations. It won't build your understanding. So if you want a strong foundation, bro, then you have to follow it step by step. And at the end, maybe at the end, once you have a sculpt, then you could lay over the reference and then you could try tracing it on top of that. Personally, I don't like to use them because my goal is never 100% likeness. my goal is to just enjoy things. Like I want to enjoy the process of sculpting. I want to make the things that I want. So I use 2D images. And as long as I'm in the ballpark, as long as they look like the characters that I want, so I'm happy. So my Spider-Man, he looks like Spider-Man. He looks like Tom Holland. Baby Arnold, he looks like Arnold. He looks like a baby version of Arnold. So that is okay. I don't want to go through and trace every single line and pose and the silhouettes. I don't want to do that, bro. That makes the process very tedious for me personally. So it just really depends on your own goals. But even if you do want to trace, even if you do want to use base meshes, use whatever, always have the foundational work to back that up. All right, this was Jessica, wasn't it? Okay, Jessica. Okay, I think the reason that the side view is throwing you off is because of two things. One, that this bulge for the eyebrow ridge, this is way too pronounced. So notice over here, we have that bump as well, but it's not as pronounced as in your sculpt. So there's like a big gap from here to here. But in this case, you can see that that gap is fairly minimal. Also a similar thing on the back of the head. So this part protrudes way beyond the neck. That is why it might be throwing you off. Whereas definitely we need that bump. We need it to protrude slightly, but not as much as we have in the reference here. So what I would do on your sculpt is I would push this in, or I would slightly pull the forehead out. Okay, just to reduce that gap in between, and that should fix it. And here towards the back, here, like I will start the neck somewhere around here, just so that I can minimize this gap, bring it closer to the head. Structurally, like there's nothing too concerning. This is a very well sculpted level 2. You just need to fix these, like these small things, like the forehead and the back of the neck, and you should be good to go. You're ready for level 2. So that is awesome. Like this. Pull back the heads and neck. Well, the head looks a little short to me. OCD power. Yeah, I think Jason is telling you the same thing here. So you need to minimize that gap here. You're saving lives, a true superhero. Awesome. This is what I love seeing. So I just love seeing the community members interact with other members. When someone's ahead of another person and he's sharing back, he's giving back, and he's sharing his lessons with other people, that is the best thing that I see inside the community. This is what is a community. A community is where you get results and you help other people get results as well. Wrapped up the 1 month links on ArtStation and YouTube to this course. Wrapped up the 1 month challenge. Definitely hit some tough hurdles with the forms at the start and the end of the course, but the measuring tips and feedback from the course helped me a lot. Left links on my ArtStation and YouTube to this course. Oh bro, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is where you started, I believe. And this is where you are now. Awesome. Are these different attempts or is it the same one? Okay, they are different. All right. Okay, just a few things that you can improve is here. So the chin is way too receded. So you have this very dramatic angle going over here. But over here, you can see that all the chin dips here, it does project quite a lot here. And that angle is slightly, yeah, it's not as dramatic as we have on the sculpt here. But nothing too concerning. Third quarter, and yeah, you see, so you can see this very clearly on the silhouette as well. The chin does feel like it's been punched inside. So 100%, a bit of that projection will also show here, and you will get that better silhouette. From the front, yeah, the front looks nice. Just that this expression feels like he's way too pissed. So I would subtle that, make it a bit more subtle. But yeah, bro, like this is very good progress. Let me mark you as a champion. Champion. So great work, my friend. Do make those adjustments. But yeah, this is in progress. I like this. All right, Diego, skull level 2, 3 day. Oh, skull level 2, day 3. Okay. I'm still having issues with the eyes and the cheekbones. However, I see some improvements and understand more this level. Awesome. Let's check. Okay. To get the proportions of a certain person character right, I usually do both. Totally fine to use it to move around parts of a face and to put it into the right place. Yes, exactly that. But provided that you do have a good foundation to back that up. All right, let's check the third quarter. Okay, so a few things that I notice is from the front. The first thing that I notice from the front is that, bro, you need to get more of this thing over here. I just like this area just feels a bit collapsed versus how full this area is. So definitely you need to push this outside and then have this shape, this straight shape for the side of the eye ridge. So this orbit thingy of the eye, you definitely want to straighten this here and have this straight from down here. And then of course we have the cheekbone here. So you need a bit more of that structure. The lower section, notice how yours is tapering out and then curving back in. This is why the lower shape looks a bit weird. Whereas notice here, it's a straight line down, it's a straight diagonal line to the chin, and then it's a straight flat line for the bottom of the chin. So that is how you can fix the lower area. This is how you can fix the upper area. And when you do fix that, you will also improve the third quarter. And from the third quarter, what I'm noticing is that you do not have enough projection of the brow ridge. So notice here how we have this projection for the ridge. So where the ridge is, after that we have this sinking in, and then we have another protrusion for the cheekbone. So that is a structure that I feel like you are lacking in your sculpt. So notice how this area is collapsed. It's just a straight line down, and then you have the protrusion for the cheekbone. So 100% what I would do here is I would get that projection for the eyebrow ridge. So this ridge here, and then it sinks back in, and then it protrudes slightly out for the cheekbone, and then it goes back in. And of course, behind this, we have the jaw. So that is how I would do this. And of course, your orbits would follow a similar shape as well. Perfect. Just make this adjustment and you should be good to go. W on making a quality post. Ahmed Samir. Let's check. Face level 1, day 25. Day 25 update. Transitioning from skull to anatomy to facial blockout. Oh, from skull anatomy to facial blockout. It's all about nailing the fundamental proportions and so it early on, still refining the shapes, and I'll keep grinding until I reach 100% accuracy. That does not exist, my friend. 100% accuracy does not exist. Oops, why did that minimize? All right, things look good. Honestly, I just feel like the front here, the temple line, this is way too squashed. Look at how much area you have over here. That is too excessive, my friend. Whereas over here, you can see that the temple line is definitely wider, and we don't have a lot of that area on the sides. So this is way too massive. And other than that, I can't find anything too concerning. The cheekbones might be slightly lower. So I feel like they are way too low on your sculpt. Versus notice here where they are almost around the middle. So definitely you could push them slightly up. And the temple line, 100% you need to move them somewhere here. Like this. And that, my friend, should fix that. Honestly, nothing too concerning from the side. I feel like you're missing this triangular structure. This is concerning though. So 100% have this sharp jaw, have the skin hanging below that, and then this triangle shape. Very, very important. But other than that, nothing too concerning. On a good track, my friend. And I love the passion. I love how you want to make a 100% accurate model. But it is very important that I set realistic expectations. It is not possible. I can do it. No one can do it. When even a professional, when he sculpts something, he can't sculpt 100% the same thing again. It just cannot happen. You cannot replicate your own handwriting. So write something on a piece of paper, write the same thing below that. The writing will not match 100%. It will be very similar, but it's never going to be 100%. Organic things, never 100% accurate. And it's not a realistic goal. And cool enough, when you lower that bar, when you're focusing on 100% accuracy, you're stressing out for no reason. You feel that performance anxiety that, oh boy, this has to be 100%. I have to get 100% accuracy, and you will perform worse than what you would have otherwise. But when you lower that bar to 80 to 90% accuracy, you perform better because you just relieve yourself of that pressure, and the result is automatically closer and automatically better. It's a really cool trick. All right, let's proceed forward. Joan Williams, Skull Level 3. I think this is my best attempt at this level. I focused on the structure and improved the parts I struggle with the most. I don't know why, but I'm not liking the eyes. Is the eyes good? Yes, the eyes are good. They're just slightly big, is all. Reference to mine too. Okay, so this is the second attempt. Yeah, honestly, I like the first attempt more. The first attempt has these features very defined, whereas on the second one they're all a bit blur, a bit mush, a bit too smoothed out. But definitely the structure on the things here is much better than what you have on the second attempt. The only thing that I feel like about what you can improve on the second attempt here is that this area feels a bit too squished. So this area feels a bit too squished. Also this area feels a bit too squished. So notice how full this area is. So we have the widest area about here, and then we have this taper down here. But I feel like we have a very dramatic slope down here. And then this jaw here, it's wider, slightly wider than what we have here. So 100% I would push this structure out here, have the cheekbone here somewhere, make this slightly wider, and then the jaw, I would make it somewhere around here, just so that the lower section has a bit more thickness. And you can see as I'm sketching this with my really bad drawing skills that the lower section does look fuller and better. Other than that, nothing too concerning on this sculpt here. So this is very well done, my friend. I love how patient you have been with this as well. 100%. Just make these adjustments and you should be good to go. Awesome, Dejon. Ibrar Hussain finished the course, finished the 1 month challenge in just 2 days on my third attempt. Honestly, I was struggling with proportions. Oh, I remember this one. I was struggling with proportions at first, but after watching his sculpting videos and the way Ishaq explained everything, it really helped me understand where I was going wrong. I really enjoyed the challenge and learned a lot from it. Looking forward to the next one. Awesome, man. So you can see this is where Ibrar was before the course. And honestly, this is not bad. It does still show that he has some experience. He has been trying for a while. But the improvements that he made with the course, definitely the face feels more mature. It looks better. So we have another champion. By the way, this is insane, but like just 2 days and on his third attempt. This, by the way, guys, is like exceptional. This only happens once. So don't be like, hey, I have to complete the course in 2 days as well because I want to beat a pro. No, bro, don't do that. Your competition is yourself. So always remember, never compare your work with anyone else. This is something that I used to do. So when I was still learning things, I used to go online. When I was here sculpting this piece of shit, I used to go on ArtStation and I watched these incredible artists and I thought, oh boy, this is a level that I can never attain. This is a level that I can never reach. And instead of feeling motivated, bro, instead of feeling inspired, I felt demotivated. So never, ever, ever do that. Your only competition is yourself. As long as you wake up the next day, you've been practicing, and let's say I sculpt this. So this, my friend, is progress. This is progress. It still looks like shit, but it's less shit than this one. So this is progress. And this is how you need to look at your work. So always, always, always just remove every competition from your life. You are your own true competition. That is it. As long as you are improving every single day, as long as you're sculpting something that's better than yesterday, you are on a good track. You just need to keep doing that. That is it. That is it. And as long as you do that, bro, you will make insane progress. You will reach points where you're sculpting characters that you like, and you won't be struggling anymore. Just a sec, guys. Let me silence this thing. All right. Yeah, just remove all competition. Ibrar is not your competition. Your competition is you. Just focus on that. And some people take longer than others, but I promise you, bro, as long as you're making progress every single day, as long as you are beating your own competition, which is you, by the way, you're on a good track. You just need to keep doing that, and that alone. Head level 1. What do you all think? I know there's room for improvement, but I'm happy. Let's check. It looks good. You don't have the rest of the angles, so I cannot comment on the other angles, but from this angle particularly, it looks good. Yeah, I might see some things if I move it from the side or the front view, but from this view, it looks good. I can't mark this as a quality post, bro. I'll just keep it as daily practice. Yeah. Sakshit. 4-day challenge. I tried my best. No, you did not. You did not try your best, bro. Stop lying to us. This is not your best attempt. I'm 100%, bro. I'm 100% sure this is not your best attempt. This is a rushed attempt. This is a jerry attempt. Bro, when someone actually tries their best, it shows. This is certainly not it. You're coloring your models. You know that. How would coloring this fix this? It wouldn't. You're adding here. You're trying to add clothes. You're trying to fix something that already looks bad. It won't work. If there's a piece of shit, my friend, right? If there's a piece of shit right here, this poo-poo, and I want to make this poo-poo pretty, if I add flowers, if I add some sprinkles, if I add glitter to this piece of poop, bro, it's not going to make it pretty. It's still a piece of shit. And that is what I'm seeing over here, my friend. So when you have something bad and you're trying to add colors to it, you're trying to add here, it won't work. And you just shared this, like the end result. You never shared the process in between. This is not your best attempt. But if you try your best, it will show and you will see results. So you have to be honest, at least to yourself, bro. This is not your best attempt. Prince Emmanuel, ears, nose, lips sculpt. Let's check. All right. Let's check the rest of the views. Okay. Okay, let me share some feedback now. Okay, what I feel, bro, is the ears, you can definitely smooth them. There's a lot of wobble to the ears. So we could smooth the lower sections. Like it's fairly straight over here. The mouth, it's not wide enough. It feels very narrow. Also, let me confirm this from the side. So yeah, you don't have any sharpness on the lips. I think you sculpted them and then you smoothed them out. So you definitely need these slight sharp lines on the upper lip. You need this shadow forming on the upper lip as well. I feel like the features of the mouth, they were sculpted, but they were smoothed out. There's also a lot of wobble here, whereas the lower mouth section, it's like a very subtle M. It's a very subtle M. So the top of the lip is a sharp M, and the crease of the mouth is a very subtle M. and then the bottom is just this line here, and then the sides, they are very flush with the rest of the mouth. So you can definitely improve the mouth section, make it slightly wider. Let's check the side view. So from the side view, what I'm noticing is that your chin is very recessed. So definitely we can push all of this lower section slightly forward. The way that you can check this is always try to draw a line here from the eyebrow ridge down, a straight line here. And you can see how this line lines up with the upper mouth. So this tells me that the upper mouth should be projected forward. And if we try drawing a same line here, okay, you have that. But you can see that there's a big difference here. Why is this tool not working? Okay. Let's use this. Let's draw a straight line here. And a line here. So yeah, now you can see that there's this very small gap. So we can definitely move the lower section forward. Look at this gap here, very minimal, versus this gap here, pretty large. This gap to the chin, from this line to the chin, and this gap very, very, yeah, it's greater than that. So 100% we can push the lower section forward quite a lot. Also, what you're seeing here is that the nose here, so notice that this thing for the mouth, it starts somewhere in the center of the nostril. So the nose is almost halfway out, halfway in, and so is the nostril. In your case, like it's beginning here towards the end of the nose, which is a very common mistake, by the way. So when you do push the mouth forward, you need to push this area over here as well. And this is where I would make the mouth on your sculpt. So somewhere around here should be nice. And because the chin is recessed here, this also shows in the third quarter where he just looks, I don't know, looks like a Jerry. Right. This is what happens to mouth breathers, by the way. So people who breathe with their mouth, their jaw becomes recessed because their face is always like this. And yeah, they have a recessed jaw. So mewing does work, by the way. If you have a recessed jaw, bro, start chewing hard food, eat meat, and stop slurping food. When you slurp food, you're not training your jaw muscles, and your jaw becomes recessed. You won't have that projection on the jaw. Also, when you breathe with your mouth, the mouth is open all the time. And then the jaw, it becomes recessed even more. So always breathe with your nose. So 100%. To fix that, you just push all of this forward. And this is true, by the way. Like I'm not kidding with you. Mewing before and after. And you can research this on your own, by the way. So people who have recessed jaws like this, mewing does help. It takes a lot of time, but it does help. And the reason people have recessed jaws is because they, like, nowadays we have a crisis, bro. People are just slurping foods, drinking soft drinks, milkshakes instead of proper food. I don't know, bro, eating Cerelac like babies. Why? Eat real food, bro. Like hard food that you have to chew and develop your jaw. Yeah, definitely very close, my friend. Keep up the good work. Looking forward to see your progress. Oh wow, okay. So we've covered everything on this week. And this is the previous week. Perfect. Awesome. I'll be signing off. Once again, the applications for the Davinci School are now open. So if you want to apply, if you want to get access to all of these amazing courses over here, if you want access to me one-to-one, and if you want that whenever you make a post, bro, you want feedback, you get feedback under those posts via videos, via comments, 100%, bro. I got you covered. This is the best place where you want to be. When you are surrounded in a community where everyone is sculpting, everyone is making progress, you feel this positive FOMO effect. You're like, oh man, I'm missing out. I want to make this amazing progress as well. And it pushes you forward. So 100% apply. Let me quickly drop the link here. It takes discipline even to eat properly, but if you're not willing to take care of your body to that extent, what are you willing to do? Exactly, my friend. It takes good discipline and yeah, proper food. A lot of people they just come, I can't eat food, man. I don't want to eat food. Like, bro, like you are what you eat. Literally. Like fuel is the like food is your fuel. It's how you get powers, how your brain functions. If you put good things inside your mouth, then you will have good output. You will function better. You will feel more active. You will feel more energized. 100%. But like eat good stuff. And you owe this to your body. But like when you get old and when you're crippled, and then you regret, oh boy, I wish I had this daily exercise that I could do. I wish I had stretched out. I wish I had eaten the good food. People who have diabetes, bro, they regret the whole life. That, oh boy, I wish I had a little bit of self-control, and I wish I could stop that sugary craving that I had. And I know it was bad for me, but I still ate it. Like, you don't want that regret, my friend. So 100%, like Henry said, take care of yourself. And with that said, let me sign off. I will see you Wednesday when we sculpt something live together. Here's a fist bump. I'll see you around. Goodbye.